Hello and welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. Kane Murray, Shaka Hislop and Stevie Nicol here in the studio. In just a little while, we've got many more people joining us. First up, we will be hearing from Frank Leboeuf and Jan Argafiotov as we turn our attention to yesterday's Champions League final, the one that PSG won on a penalty shootout against Arsenal. This, the reaction from all of the papers. Talk about Gabriel and the heartbreak. Gunners missing a pot shot. The Invincibles for PSG and Paris stunned Gunners. A dream has gone. Yeah, very nice pun there. Anyway, these are the scenes from Paris as PSG celebrate back-to-back Champions League titles. Wonderful scenes there in front of the Eiffel Tower. Luis Enrique leading his team once again to Champions League glory. The bumps. Great scenes. All right, let's welcome in Jan Argafiotov and Frank Leboeuf. I wonder if Frank was at those parties. Were you there, Frank?
No, I wasn't. But because when the game was on, I was on stage, and today, I just watched on TV, and I really appreciated the party that Paris Saint-Germain put on, even if we had some stupid people last night and this afternoon creating damages in the city. We are not. I have to say that not Paris Saint-Germain fans. They're just people who wants to create trouble. But it was a great day for the Paris Saint-Germain, and I was very proud as a French guy to see Paris Saint-Germain winning for the second time in a row the Champions League final.
So let me go around and let me stick with you, Frank, because this is the first time we're seeing all of you since the final was played. What was your takeaway, Frank, from yesterday's final, your overview of it?
Well, that was maybe one of the worst final ever watched for me. That's what I want to say. I think Arsenal parked the bus for too long, and I think they should have paid the permit for that, because really that was simply insane. I'm very upset with Mikel Arteta. I know there is an option. Yeah, you have very good defending and everything, but you never offered anything else. With the talent that you can have, you never offer anything else. And I think you could have and tried something. They never tried. They scored a goal. Lucky one, because the assist from one of the, I forgot the name, from one of the Arsenal player to Havertz was a chance and a counter, and that's it, and good goal from Havertz. But after that, nothing. They put themselves back and they waited, and again they parked the bus. And they never tried anything, and it's why I say it was one of the worst finals, because I didn't see anything. Paris Saint-Germain maybe tried, but it was hard for them to create anything because I was very closed. But happy that the best team won, and deserving 1-1. But otherwise, that's not going to stay one of the best final ever, that's for sure.
So as we continue with the reaction from all you guys, just wanted to show you what João Neves said after the game. He said, "Coming here was the best choice I made in my life. I love everything here. We deserved it today because PSG was the only one who wanted to play." Is that fair, Stevie?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Probably the worst thing that could have happened for the game, for the spectators, was Arsenal going ahead. Because clearly from that point on, it was just about holding on to it, which made it a little tedious to watch. Yes, you have to say that Arsenal defended well. They got challenges in when they needed to. They kept PSG at bay basically for most of the game. But unfortunately, when you decide to go about it that way, it just takes one mistake. And obviously they got the penalty and they got the equaliser, and then from there, I know it went to penalties, but I always felt as though PSG were just always going to shade it. Somehow they were going to shade it. Now, I thought they might get another goal, certainly in the 90 minutes or in the extra time, but the fact that they won it on penalties, they still made it, they still did it, and they deserved it.
So listen, let me just add to that. I completely agree with both Frank and Steve about the game and how it kind of went ahead. Where I'll add to, if not disagree with Steve, is I don't think the early goal changed a thing from Arsenal's perspective. I think what you saw for Arsenal was always a game plan until it became unless it became 2 or 3 to Paris's favour, and then Arsenal really had to kind of come out of their shell and play on the front foot. But other than that, that was who Arsenal were going to be from beginning to end, as long as they were still in the game, and even behind it at 1-0 was in the game. Listen, truth be told, the best praise I can offer for Arsenal, if I may, is that they are an incredibly good defensive team, very disciplined. It is not easy just to sit back and soak up pressure and defend without making mistakes in the way that Arsenal did, certainly for the 90 minutes, if not 120. But that's where it stopped. You have to go out and win football games, and your approach cannot always be, let's not lose, and let's hope to get something up the other end. And I felt that was Arsenal's approach. We are not going to lose. PSG's on the other side of that same coin was, let's go out and win it, and eventually I think the better team got there, albeit through the penalty shootout.
Yeah, and what do you think it came down to?
Well, I try now as I go out on the fourth here to try to be a bit devil's advocate, because Arsenal did what they had to do on one thing, because this is the first time you see PSG and all their great match winners, they have an average game, individual. I think that they kept them quiet. Yes, they created some chances, some half chances there. And I think, to agree with Xhaka, I think they didn't park the bus. I think they played a defensively very good game. Having said that, being the devil's advocate, I must say that when you see the numbers here and when you see the possession, I'm very surprised that Arsenal, after winning the Premier League, after lifting that trophy at Selhurst Park, they didn't go for it. I think we all former players can agree the games that we hate is the one that we didn't go for it. If we're going to lose, let's lose by going for it. Let's risk it. Yep. And after they're winning the Premier League, I think that this is the dessert. This is the best dessert in the world, playing the Champions League final. That is point 2. And point 3, if I may say, I think that the German referee Siebert kind of had done his homework. Remember that corner just before halftime when Saka took his time? We've seen that all season, and he just blew it out. Yeah. He said, let's go. And I said at halftime, and I was in the studio in Germany, and I said at halftime, he will be told at halftime now, don't take anything more from Arsenal now. First one, delay on the throw-in, give them a booking. Check, he did. New penalty, check. The penalty was okay, but still, so there were no favours from Arsenal in that term. So I think that somehow Arsenal got punished by their own strategy. And I think that the players, we saw the parade today, deservedly be very proud of winning the Premier League, that I think was the most important thing for Arsenal. But there will be a doubt by the Arsenal players, why didn't we do more? This was our tiramisu. This was our dessert. This was our pudding. But we didn't do it. We didn't do anything.
Okay. Frank, what did you want to say there?
Yeah, I often say, that you don't have to play well in the final. You have to win it. But when you win it, you don't care how badly you played or how good you played. You won it. But that's when you have some regrets. Is when you don't play well and you lose, like Arsenal did yesterday. And the bitter that you can feel, you can smell, you can even taste. That's gonna last for the rest of their lives. And that's what I feel. And it's why I'm quite upset. But they didn't. Yeah, that's very nice what Jan just said. That we saw that it took like 3 guys to get a throw in. That sometimes they put 2 football on the field. They tried to gain time on the first half. They had 69 successful passes in the first half. 69. They didn't play. That's what I'm quite upset with Mikel Arteta, because, yeah, they defended well. It's an art to defend well, but you cannot, with Arsenal, have only one option. And it's why I'm quite critical towards the Gunners, because there was something else to do. And now it's only regrets.
By the end of the game, it came down to Gabriel's penalty that obviously gave PSG the win at that stage. Wanted to